Namaste. Thank you for tuning in today again for a yoga class. I hope you're all happy and healthy out there. Today we will be working on strength. There's a few twists and it's a little bit playful. And of course, we finish with some nice stretches to set you up for the rest of the day. I hope you will enjoy it, so let's start. We're starting in a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knees. Inhale and exhale to prepare. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Come back to your natural breath and see how your body feels like after focusing on the breath. Bring your hands to your heart and set an intention for this class. This could be dedicated to yourself or to someone else in need. See your intention with lowering your chin to your hands and slowly blink open your eyes. Beautiful. Inhale, put your arms over your head, interlace your finger palms facing up, and really stretch out your heart towards the ceiling. Inhale deeply, exhale, lower your arms, interlace them in the back, lower your palms towards the floor, and shine your heart up towards the ceiling. Exhale here, and bring your hands back towards your knees. And here we're just gonna bring a few circles into the spine. So inhale to bring your shoulders towards the front, and exhale, round your back. Inhale, fold your chest towards the front, and exhale, round your back. Inhale, front, exhale towards the back. Inhale to the front, exhale, round your back nicely into the back. And then just take a few moments to activate your wrists, roll them up towards the ceiling. Maybe look up and then slowly change directions, bringing them down back onto your knees. From here, remove props if you used any, and then slowly make your way into an all-four position, making sure that your hands are under shoulders and that your knees underneath your hips. From here, bring your hands far to the front, widen your knees as wide as the mat into your puppy pose, and lower your chest as much as you can, resting your head onto the mat. Feel the stretch in your shoulder blades here, and rest your feet flat on the floor. Take a few breaths here. Focus on deep in and exhalations through the nose, and then slower Slowly lower yourself up again. Reach your left arm high to the ceiling and bring it through to the other side. Either you stay here or you use your right arm over your head, stretch it out, and maybe you look up to the ceiling here for a twist. Make sure your hips stay aligned and take a few breaths here. And then slowly with an inhale, make yourself up again, reach to the ceiling and place your left hand back. Use your right hand up towards the ceiling and place your left hand towards your right shoulder. Stretching your right arm overhead and maybe look up for the ceiling. For another twist on this side, keep your hips aligned and your feet flat on the floor. Take a few breaths here. And maybe close your eyes if it feels good. And when you're ready with an inhale, reach your right arm towards the ceiling and place it back onto the mat. From here, just mobilize your spine, shift your weight onto your wrists, back onto your knees, and just see what your body feels today, where it's a little more tense, where you need a little more movement before we start. Maybe round your shoulders, come back into a child's pose, maybe to an upward facing dog. Just take your time here to prepare. And then come back to an all-four position. Reach your left arm high and your right leg. Flex your foot, reach for an inhale and exhale. Bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press. Inhale, reach. And exhale, press knees and elbows together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press it together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press knee and elbow together. Inhale, reach, and take your left arm and reach for your right foot and kick into your hand for a shoulder stretch and a little hip stretch. Release to lengthen and exhale, place it back onto the mat. Other side. Reach your right arm high and reach your left foot back. Inhale here to prepare. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. And exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. And exhale, squeeze. One more time, and flex your knee and reach for your foot here. Kick into your arm for a little stretch. And then one more time, reach and place your hands back onto the mat. And then just take a few moments here to shake it out and put your toes into the mat. Lift your knees, just hover over the floor here for a few moments. Press your hands into the mat, activate everything, also your core, and then with an exhale, push yourself up into downward facing dog. This might be your first dog, so just walk the dog here. Push your heels into the mat, move your hips from side to side. And then when you're ready, just slowly come to stillness here. Come forward into a plank. Hover your knee over the floor, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward. Hover, exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward. exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Reach your right leg high, bring it towards the front, bring your knee down, and inhale, arms overhead, shift your hips towards the front. Reach up high for back bend, and exhale, hands onto the mat. With another exhale, come sink your hips back. Your right toe is flexed. And inhale, come towards the front. Shift your right leg high and put it back into a downward facing dog. Reach forward plank, sink your knees down and lower chest first. Mini cobra. Exhale down onto your knees and back into downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Bring it towards the front, place it between your hands. Put your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Inhale, lengthen and a little back bend. Exhale, slowly bring your arms towards the front. Sink your hips back, flex your left foot and stretch it out here. Inhale, bring your hips to the front. Reach your left foot back into a three-legged dog and place it back onto the mat. Shift your weight forwards into plank, knees down, chest down. Inhale, mini cobra. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg high, right elbow squeeze. Inhale, right leg high, left elbow exhale, extend your foot here. Inhale, reach right hand up high, look to the ceiling, fallen star. Bring your left hand back onto the mat, three-legged dog, and one time squeeze your knee onto your forehead and reach up for a high lunge here. Find your balance and twist towards the right. Reach your right hand to the back, left towards the front. Place your right hand on the left leg and reach up for a back bend here. Place your left hand onto the mat, reach your right hand up high for another twist. And then come into a side plank, moving the right leg on top of your left. If you're extra strong, reach your right leg up, make sure your hips are high. And if you want to go for a challenge, squeeze your elbow to your knee, reach your hand up high, squeeze, reach your hand high, squeeze, reach high, and then place your right leg behind the left into a wild thing and come back into your plank. Shift your weight forward, knees to the floor, chest down. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, push yourself back into a downward facing dog here. Reach your left leg high, squeeze to the left elbow. Inhale, reach high, exhale to the right elbow. Stretch your leg out here, right hand up, fallen star. Right hand back to the mat, left foot goes up into a three-legged dog. Squeeze the knee to your forehead and place your foot onto your mat. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, come to a little twist here, reaching your left hand to the back, right hand to the front. Place your left hand onto your right leg and come to a back bend here. Make sure your knee is still bent, and exhale, place your right arm on the mat, left hand towards the ceiling for a twist. Bring your left leg onto the right one for a side plank. If you feel extra strong, reach your left leg high. And if you want to go for a challenge, squeeze your elbow towards your knee. Inhale long, exhale, squeeze. Inhale long, exhale, squeeze. And then place your left foot behind you, reaching your arm over your head for wild thing, and then come back into a plank, lowering your knees, shift your weight to the front, chest down, mini cobra, and press back into a downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, and if you feel like it, come down on your knees into a child's pose and rest here for a few breaths. Take deep inhale and exhalations through your nose, and when you're ready, we meet back into a downward facing dog. Reach your right leg high, bring it onto your right knee. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, bring it towards your left knee. Inhale, high. Exhale, bring it towards the front and place it between your hands. Inhale, reach high for high lunge. And inhale to lengthen for a little back bend. And then take your fingers together, interlace them in your back, and come forward to a warrior three. Make sure your hips stay in one height. Enjoy the little wobbling. Flex your foot. Find your balance here. And then slowly land back into a high lunge. Reach your arms up high for an inhale. And exhale, place them back onto the mat. Either come onto your knee or flow to your chaturanga, baby cobra, and we meet in a downward facing dog. Reach your left leg high. Squeeze your knee onto your elbow. Inhale, left elbow. Inhale, reach up high. And exhale, try to touch your forehead. Place your foot onto the mat. And inhale for a high lunge here. Inhale to lengthen. And then interlace your fingers into the back here. Push your shoulder blades together. And try to come forward into a warrior three. Try to keep your hips on the same height and flex your foot. Try a little balancing here, and then slowly land back into a high lunge. Reach your arms up, inhale, exhale, place them back onto the mat. And here, flow through your chaturanga. Feel free to come onto your knees, baby cobra, and then pressing back into a downward facing dog. And then bring your feet together, walk or jump towards the front of the mat. Widen your feet here, hold on to your opposite elbows, and just bounce and relax your lower back. Either you wanna stay here, or you wanna take your hands underneath your feet, flat onto the ground, and then really press with your feet into your wrist. Stretch out the shoulder and the wrist here. Get a nice stretch. Take a breath here. And then slowly remove your hands from underneath your feet. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, come all the way up. And then bring your hands towards your heart. Step to the front of your mat. Bring your toes together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, squeeze your elbows together. Inhale, reach up high. And exhale, come all the way down. Inhale for halfway lift, draw your shoulders back. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Step back to plank. Put your knees down, your chest down. Inhale for mini cobra. Exhale, come all the way down. Come back into your downward facing dog and take a breath here. Inhale, put your feet together, step up or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale for halfway lift, exhale all the way down. Inhale, reach your arms up high, and exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. Inhale, reach arms up high, and exhale, fall all the way down. Inhale, come up for halfway lift, and exhale, plant your hands back onto the mat, step back into a plank, put your knees down. your chest down. Inhale for mini cobra. Exhale, come back onto your knees and shift your weight back into downward facing dog. Well done. Put your feet together here. Step, hop or jump to the front of the mat. Halfway lift with an inhale and exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead and exhale, bring your hands back towards your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Interlace your fingers here. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, slowly bring your hands towards the right side. Reach, reach, reach to have a nice side stretch onto your left side. Inhale, come back up to lengthen and exhale, reach to the left towards the other side here. Take a breath. And inhale, come back towards the middle, lengthen and exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift here, shoulders back. Plant your hands onto the mat. Step, hop or jump into your plank. And if you wish, put your knees down for a modified version of your Vinyasa. This is your time and we all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, squeeze to right elbow. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, squeeze to the left elbow. Inhale, reach high. And exhale, place your right foot in the front of the mat. Inhale, high lunge. And then bring your left knee towards the front. Stretch it out long here. Bring your arms over your head and hold for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and then bring it back over your knee, over your right knee, and sink your hips low for a nice hip stretch here. Either you hold your hands to your chest, you try to reach them onto the floor, or if you want to try a little balance here, you're more than welcome to play around, or you just stay wherever you are and feel comfortable today. Take a breath here. And with an inhale, reach your knee up high and exhale, place it back into your high lunge here. Reach up for an inhale and exhale, place your hand back onto your mat. Come back into a plank pose, put your knees down, chest down, inhale, mini cobra, and exhale, roll over your knees back into your downward facing dog. Well done. Let's do the left leg high. Bring it towards your left knee, squeeze. Inhale, reach high, and exhale, squeeze to your right knee. Inhale, reach high, and exhale, place your left foot between your hands here and reach up for high lunge. Sink your hips low. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, shift your weight towards the left foot and reach your right leg towards the front. Hold here for a count of 3. Then bring your right foot onto your left thigh. Sink your hips low. Hold your hands in front of your heart or try to reach the floor for a deeper stretch here. And if you want to try a little arm balance here, then just shift your weight forward. Hook your left foot onto your left arm. Put your right knee onto your right elbow. And then try to shift your weight forward. And slowly get your feet off the ground. Take an inhale here. And reach your arms up high. And exhale, place your right foot back into a high lunge. Reach back for an inhale. Exhale, place your hands back onto the mat. Into a high plank. Put your knees down, your chest down, mini cobra, and roll back over your knees into a downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Maybe sigh it out. Put your big toes together here. Bend your knees, look forward, step, hop or jump into the front of your mat. And then reach your fingers low, sink your hips deep into a chair pose. Hold here, sink lower. Contract your belly muscles here to not overarch your back. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold all the way down. Inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms overhead, and then bring your hands into your neck for a little shoulder opener here. Inhale, reach high, exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, plant your hands into the mat, step back to plank, float through your vinyasa either with your knees down or not, yogi's choice, and push back into downward facing dog. Right leg high, exhale, bring it to the front of the mat into warrior one. Bring your left heel down, make sure your hips are facing the front of your mat. Inhale here, and exhale, come into warrior two, making sure now the hips are facing the long side of the mat. Look over your right hand, reach forward for an inhale, and to a reversed warrior. Exhale, bring your right elbow onto your thigh, reach your arms overhead, or place your right hand on the mat for a more intense twist here. Inhale deeply, and exhale, come up. Straighten your leg, bring your right toe in, make sure the heels are out. Interlace your fingers in the back. Inhale for chest opener, and exhale, come all the way down here. Micro bend your knees and just relax your neck and your head, and then slowly let go of your hands. Inhale here to lengthen, exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, place your hands on your hip and come all the way up. And then with the exhale, come back into your warrior two. Reach towards the front. Inhale for reverse warrior. Exhale, place both hands back onto the mat. Come back into your high plank. Shift your weight forward. Put your knees down or not, and float through your vinyasa. And we meet back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, place it towards the front. Put your right heel onto the mat and make sure your hips are facing towards the short side of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, open up for warrior two here. Make sure your hips are facing the long side of the mat now. Look over your left arm. Inhale, reach towards the front and come back into a reversed warrior here. Exhale, place your left elbow on your left knee. Reach your arm overhead, open up your right side here, or come into a deeper stretch and place your left hand onto the mat next to your heel. Take an inhalation here, and then come all the way up. Reach towards the front, inhale, back into reversed warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, bring your left toes inwards. Inhale here, reach your arms up high. And exhale, come down all the way, micro bending your knees. And here you can grab your big toes if you can reach it. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, use your arms, really pull your elbows to the outside to come into a deeper stretch here. Take a breath here. And then let your arms come back into the middle. Take an inhale to lengthen your back. Exhale all the way down. Bring your hands back onto your hips and come up with an inhale. Exhale, come back into warrior two. Inhale, reach your hand to the front for a reversed warrior. Exhale, cut with both hands down back onto the mat and float through your vinyasa. Put your knees down, shift your weight to the front, chest, mini cobra, and roll back over your knees, pushing back into your downward facing dog here. Well done. And then bring your big toes together, sink your hips low, look forward, and jump, if you can, towards your hands and come into a seated position, lowering yourself back onto the mat, vertebra by vertebra here, really using your core. And exhale it out here for a second. And then put your heels hip width apart. See if you can reach your heels with your fingertips, and then roll your shoulder blades back and down so you nicely lie onto them. Take an inhale here to prepare. Exhale, activate your core. With the next inhale, push your hips up high for a little back bend. You can either stay here or interlace your hands underneath your body, and also using those hands to press into the mat. Hold here for another breath, and then slowly lower yourself back down onto the mat. Put your foot wider than the mat and let your knees fall into each other, resting your hands onto the belly. Close your eyes and see what this pose does for you. And we're going for round 2 here, so make sure your feet are hip width apart, your fingertips can reach your heels, and that your shoulder blades are rolled underneath your back. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale to contract your belly muscles, and with the next inhale, come up into your half bridge pose. If you know how your wheel is working, you can do also a full wheel here. If not, just stay into that position and take another breath here. And slowly lower yourself back vertebra by vertebra. Take your feet wider than the mat and let your knees fall inwards, resting your hands on your belly. Take a few breaths here. And when you're ready, you can bring your knees in towards your chest, holding on, rolling from side to side here, maybe holding on to your knees, and just give them a nice circle for a lower back massage to one side first, and then just changing the direction, massaging into the lower back. And when you're ready, roll yourself, rocking back and forth, holding on under your knees, and coming into a wide angle seated forward bend here. See how far you can put your feet apart, flex the feet, and if you cannot sit up straight here, then use a pillow to elevate your hips, which is the first really important step of the stretch, is to have a straight spine here. If this is enough for you, just use your hands in the back to straighten your spine here and stay here. If you feel like you can go a little bit further, take an inhale here to straighten your spine, and then with an exhale, come towards your right side for a little side stretch here. Inhale, come back to the middle, take your arms up, and exhale, lower your left arm next to your heel. Inhale, come back into the middle, and then exhale, lower yourself down as much as you can. First, make sure you take an inhale to lengthen your spine, and then exhale, lower down. You can round your back, just hold the position here and take a few breaths. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly walk your hands back towards your hips. Reach your hands behind your back and bring your feet wide and let your knees fall in left and right. Just a little counter pose for our forward fold, and then bring your sole of your feet together, and then inhale to fold forward with a straight back, and then exhale, slowly lower yourself down towards your heels. Don't use any force here, just work your breath and sink lower with every exhale, relaxing more into the pose. Stay here for a few breaths. And then once you're ready, slowly use your hands behind your back, coming onto your elbows, and then all the way down, leaving your feet in the same position, and just stay in our butterfly pose for a little bit. You can already close your eyes if that feels good for you, and just take a few breaths here. And then fold your feet and legs together like a book. Circle them from inside out with your hands on your knees, massaging your hip flexors here for one last time. And then when you're ready, you can bring your feet together back on the ground. Either you just let them fall towards the left side next to each other, or if you feel like a deeper stretch, bring your right leg over your left leg for a deeper twist, stretching your right arm towards the right side and looking over your shoulder, taking a few breaths here. And slowly make yourself back in towards the middle, and let your knees fall towards the right, either next to each other or crossed over. And stretch your left arm towards the left side, looking over the left shoulder. Maybe closing your eyes here to turn inwards. And then slowly come back towards the middle here, preparing for a little inversion. So make sure your shoulder blades are underneath, rolled back, and your neck is tucked in, using your hands to support you here. So just use your knees and swing them over your head, holding on towards the back. And then if you feel ready, you can slowly stretch out your legs towards the ceiling here. And then just take a few breaths here if it feels good. You can release anytime, bringing your knees back towards the direction of your forehead, and then slowly but gently roll back over your back. And then stretch your legs all the way out here. Into Savasana. If you feel like you need a happy baby or any other stretches before you come into Savasana, please do so now. See what your body feels, or already prepare into your last posture, Savasana. Make sure that your toes are falling outward. Maybe sigh it out here one last time. Inhale deeply, exhale, sigh it out. Inhale deeply, exhale, sigh it out. One more time. Inhale deeply and exhale, let it all out. Beautiful. Make sure your hands are wide, palms facing up towards the ceiling and your chin is tucked in. And close your eyes if you haven't done so yet. Make sure the space between your eyebrows is fully relaxed, your cheeks and your tongue in your mouth. Focus on the neck and the shoulders where we keep a lot of stress, to just gently soften with each in and exhalation. Enjoy your savasana. And then slowly start to activate your body again with deep inhalations. And start wiggling your fingers, your toes, your wrists and your ankles. And when you're ready, with an inhale, take your arms overhead, stretching like a nice morning stretch. And then roll over to your favorite side here for a moment. When you're ready, press yourself back up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed as much as possible. If you need any props to sit on, feel free to grab them, and then roll your shoulders back and down here. Today I want to talk about the 8 limbs of yoga. The yamas and niyamas are the first 2 limbs of the 8 limbs of yoga, according to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Yama is the attitude towards our environment, and niyama is the attitude towards ourself. They create a container for yoga to happen. Let's talk about the first yamas here, which is called ahimsa. Ahimsa means harmlessness or non-violence in actions, words, and thoughts. Observing ourselves and our actions with our other world and others while maintaining awareness of our thoughts, intention, words, and actions. Not hurting, upsetting others, enthusiasm, creativity, freedom, truth, or essence. Looking at if our thoughts, intentions, words, and actions are fostering the growth and well-being of all beings. Take a deep breath here. Exhale it out. Bring your hands back towards your heart space. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining this class. I hope you really liked it. This one is a little bit faster, so if you feel like there was a few moments that you couldn't keep up, that's completely fine. I would recommend to just do this class 1 or 2 more times, then you get more familiar with all the poses and the sequence, and you can flow better with using the breath and the movement.